a festive day in a snow globe. As the first light of morning hit the snow globe, the little town inside came alive. Residents of the petite, picturesque houses opened their windows to the snow-covered streets. The white blankets sparkled like a million diamonds, and the clear walls of the globe gave a magnified view of the world outside. Inside one of the little houses, a family prepared for the annual winter festival. Sarah, a little girl with golden curls, looked out of her window. "Mum, it's snowing again," she exclaimed, her eyes wide with excitement. Her mother smiled, tying an apron around her waist. "It always snows on the festival day, sweetie. It's part of the magic." Sarah's older brother, Tom, teased, "Just wait till you see the ice sculptures, Sarah. They're as tall as our house." The festival was the highlight of the year. Families gathered in the town square, where large tents were pitched, filled with treats, toys, and trinkets. Children played games, while adults chatted, reminiscing about past festivals. At noon, a grand feast was laid out. Tables groaned under the weight of pies, cakes, roasted meats, and warm soups. The air was filled with laughter, music, and the tingling sound of snowflakes hitting the ground. After the meal, the ice sculpting began. Artists from all over the snow globe town showcased their talent, creating stunning works of art from blocks of ice. There were sculptures of animals, fairy tale characters, and even miniature replicas of the snow globe town itself. As the sun set, the lanterns around the town square lit up, casting a warm, golden glow. Sarah held on to her mother's hand, her eyes reflecting the twinkling lights. "Can we go see the giant tree now?" she asked, her voice filled with hope. Every year, a massive tree was decorated in the center of the town square. It shimmered with lights and ornaments, a symbol of unity and festivity. As Sarah approached, she gasped in wonder. The tree was adorned with tiny star-shaped lights, ribbons, and sparkling baubles. At its very top was a crystal star that shone brighter than all the lights combined. Tom lifted Sarah onto his shoulders, letting her get a closer view. "It's beautiful," she whispered, reaching out to touch one of the hanging ornaments. "Everything seems so magical today." As night deepened, the residents gathered around a bonfire, singing carols and sharing stories. The snow continued to fall, covering the town in a fresh layer of white. The glow from the fire, the tree, and the lanterns painted a picture of warmth against the chilly backdrop. Eventually, families started heading home, their hearts full of joy and gratitude. Sarah, now drowsy from the day's excitement, was carried home by her father. As she drifted into sleep, she thought of the day's events and wished every day could be as special as the festival. Outside the snow globe, a young boy watched in wonder. Every year, he'd shake the globe and watch the town inside come alive. The festival was his favorite part. He imagined himself joining the festivities, feeling the snow under his feet and tasting the delicious food. With a sigh, he placed the snow globe back on the shelf, next to other souvenirs from his travels. The world inside the globe continued its existence, its residents unaware of the giant world beyond their glass walls. And every year, without fail, the festival would return, bringing joy and warmth to the heart of the boy who watched from outside. Mischiefs of the Invisible Puppy. It was a quiet evening. The sun was setting, and the streets were bathed in a golden hue. Emily was walking home from school, lost in thought about the math test she had just taken, when she felt something brush against her ankle. Looking down, she saw nothing, but she felt a distinct sensation of something soft and furry. Curious, she crouched down and tried to touch whatever it was. To her astonishment, her hand met with the soft fur of a tiny creature. It felt like a puppy, but she couldn't see it. It must be invisible, Emily whispered, surprised by her own conclusion. She decided to call it Misty, and took it home with her, hiding the unseen creature from her parents. That night, Emily prepared a cozy bed for Misty using an old basket and some soft blankets. She left some food and water for the invisible puppy and went to sleep, excited about her unique discovery. The next morning, Emily woke up to a mess in her room. Her shoes were chewed, her books were scattered everywhere, and the curtains had tiny tear marks. It seemed Misty was a mischievous little pup. Throughout the day, wherever Emily went, Misty followed. At school, while Emily was taking notes, her pencil suddenly started moving on its own. It appeared that Misty was trying to help, but only managed to doodle all over the paper. At lunch, Emily's sandwich floated in the air before a bite was mysteriously taken out of it. The mischiefs didn't stop there. Back at home, Emily's mother was perplexed to find the cookies she had baked mysteriously disappearing one by one from the cooling rack. Emily, trying hard to suppress her laughter, whisked Misty away to her room. Days turned into weeks, and Emily grew fond of her invisible companion. They played fetch in the park, with people looking on in amazement as the ball floated in the air, thrown by an invisible force. They went on adventures together, with Misty helping Emily in unexpected ways, like fetching lost items from behind heavy furniture. But with the fun also came challenges. Keeping Misty's mischiefs a secret became increasingly difficult. From knocking over vases to stealing other dogs' toys during walks, the invisible puppy was a handful. One day, while playing in the garden, Emily spotted a shimmering collar lying on the grass. Curious, she picked it up and instinctively put it around Misty's neck. To her amazement, the puppy became visible. Misty was a cute, fluffy, white pup with bright blue eyes. With the collar, Emily could now control Misty's invisibility. They continued their adventures, but with fewer mischiefs and more genuine fun. Months passed, and the bond between Emily and Misty grew stronger. However, Emily started noticing something. Whenever Misty wore the collar for long, she seemed tired and weak. After some contemplation, Emily realized that she had to let Misty be her true self. So, one evening, she removed the collar, and Misty turned invisible again. Emily whispered, "You can be free now. Thank you for the wonderful memories." And just like that, the invisible puppy ran off, leaving behind a trail of soft barks and memories that Emily would cherish forever. The next day, while walking to school, Emily found a note in her bag. It read, "Thank you for understanding. Misty." With tears in her eyes, Emily smiled, knowing that somewhere out there, an invisible puppy was causing delightful chaos, just being its mischievous self.